Technology has revolutionized the way we live, work, and interact. But as digital advancements continue, a deep divide remains, one that separates those with access to technology from those without. In today's world, the internet is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity for economic growth, education, and innovation.
This divide is not just about the internet, it's about access, it's about opportunities, inclusion, and the ability to participate in the global digital economy. The social media in particular has played a huge role in shaping innovation, giving voices to the unheard, and providing new platforms for economic growth. But is this enough? Welcome to Good Morning Africa. I am Ubong Usoro, and with me is the ever beautiful Memuna. Good morning.
Now you're making me blush this morning.
You are beautiful now, always, every time.
Thank you. Good morning, Ubong. How are you doing
I'm
today?
Very fine. Thank you.
Good morning to our great viewer. Today we'll be exploring the global digital divide, how social media is shaping innovation, and how we can create a more inclusive digital future for all.
Are social media platforms bridging or widening the gap between digital elites and those left behind? Stay with us as we dive into this critical conversation. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go nowhere.
Hello viewers, welcome to another edition of I Can Make It, and you will surely make it. Let the champion inside of you keep speaking, I can make it. Tell yourself, I can make it in the morning. Tell yourself when you're on the street, I can make it. When you are cooking in your kitchen, I can make it. When you are in the bathroom, you're cleaning up yourself, I can make it. In the afternoon, tell yourself, I can make it. In the night, tell yourself, I can make it. The more you start telling yourself, I can make it, I can make it, I can make it, the possibilities to help you make it will now begin to show up for you. In today's episode, I want us to look at perseverance. 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 A number of us, for you to be able to make it and make it well, you need to be able to persevere. Ability to endure some things that will bring out a better version of you. And I can assure you that if you can endure, if you can persevere, that thing that God wants to make through you, or that thing that you are hoping to get, you see that thing, it will start evolving. It will start evolving. And I want you to know that perseverance has no limits. You need to continue to persevere. Now, when you have trained yourself, you have trained your mind to be able to persevere. When challenges or probably process are getting elongated and you are like, oh, do I really have the strength to continue? I want you to know that you can continue. The strength will automatically come. Let's take, for example, a woman that is pregnant. Everyone, we know that every pregnancy will stay like 9 months in the womb before the woman will eventually give birth to the baby. So, and at times it comes with pains. You will see some ladies in their first trimester, they are really strong. They're in the second trimester, their physiology have changed. A number of things are, telling them that they are weak, they are this, they are that. But you keep hearing those pregnant women that irrespective of this pain, I'm going to persevere. This particular process I'm going through right now is making me to become a mother. And you discover that after the second trimester, their weights have really increased. They can't move as fast as they used to move. So much pain. They sit this in a particular way, they are complaining. They sit in a particular way, they are complaining. If they eat some things, they say, this is sour, I don't even like this, I want to taste another thing. They are going through so many things that are uncomfortable, but they keep persevering. They keep persevering. They keep persevering because one thing at the back of their mind is that 9 months is around the corner. I'm going to the delivery room and I'm going to deliver a bouncing baby boy, a bouncing baby girl as they desire. And at the end of the day, by the time the baby comes, they are happy. They can see the fruit of their labor. The pains that they have gone through have turned to gain. This is what perseverance will do for you. Initially, you may start with pains, all manner of pains. But I can assure you, pains will always turn to gain if you can persevere. What is that thing that you are going through right now and you are already throwing in a towel? I don't think I can continue with this. This schooling is just too much. This reading is too much. It's like I made a mistake. I will have chosen another course. I will have done this. I will have done that. The more you give excuses, the more you complain, the more you are draining your strength. Be wise from today. All you need is a little endurance, ability to persevere, ability to go through. Something is coming out of that process, is a product that everybody will celebrate. Nobody celebrates a man in process. You will only celebrate a man that has become a product. So as you go through your process in life, know that the time for people to applaud you have not come. The time for applauding you is when you become a product. I'm really encouraging you to persevere. You are closer to your to your breakthrough than where you started from. So you cannot start and at this point you now want to say, I'm not going forward again. That will be a very bad decision. I Can Make It will tell you that let me endure a little, let me persevere. And the moment you continue to persevere, my brother, my sister, let me be honest to you, strength from the inside will come. Now you begin to go through so many things. People that are out there will be wondering, how is she going through it? How is he going through it? And you that you are going through it, there is an inner strength. There is an inner encouragement. There is an inner courage that is welling up inside of you. The way you see the challenges is different from the way other people are seeing the challenges. You are looking at the challenges and you will be seeing opportunities, but they are looking at the challenges and they are seeing difficulties. This is what perseverance will do for you. So as you continue to persevere, as you continue to endure, as you continue, to put yourself to go through the process, I tell you, at the end of the day, when you become a product and you are in the marketplace, everybody will desire to place a high value on you. No product that you can call a good product, that this product is excellent. I use this product and I receive value for money. That product, before it entered the shelf, it has gone through process. I tell you, the raw materials must have gone through one manner of process or the other. And at the end of the day, because they came out a good product, that's why they are celebrated today. So I want to encourage you that from now, please persevere. Endure. What is that thing that you need to do? Tell yourself you can get that thing done. I can do all things in life through the strength I receive from God. And I can assure you that once you continue to persevere, once you continue to endure, a better you shall evolve. And the beauty of life is this. It's not just becoming a success in life. The beauty of life is that when you are up there and you see people that are just coming up and they are going through one challenge or the other, you can boldly tell them that just be patient, just endure, just continue to persevere. I tell you, this process you are going through is the right process, and it will bring you out a good product, a product that will be celebrated globally. So you'll be in a position to be able to counsel people. You'll be in a position to be able to direct. You'll be in a position to be able to teach, because you have gone through the process, you persevere, you endure endured. At times, you need to endure some hardship so that at the end of the day, you become a master of the process. And I see you becoming masters of several processes from now by the mercies and grace of God. So continue to persevere, continue to endure. A better you is coming up, and you can make it. You can persevere, you can endure, and I can assure you it will be a sweet testimonies for you. Thank you for listening to this episode of I Can Make It, and I encourage you, please persevere, endure. A better you is evolving. See you in the next episode. Thank you.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
That was a good charge there on I Can Make It. It's good that, on a daily basis we have one or two inspirational talks, to keep people moving.
There's a lot happening in the country.
A lot.
Absolutely.
A lot is happening. So just so our viewer will know that, they are not alone in the life struggles and everything that is happening around. Hey, we feel your pain, and keep believing, keep hoping everything is going to move just so fine. Now, moving on, the digital divide refers to the gap between individuals and communities that have access to modern technology and those that do not. This divide exists between countries where developed nations have advanced digital infrastructures, while many developing nations struggle with basic internet access. It also exists within countries, between urban and rural communities, and among different social economic groups.
A key driver in this conversation is social media platforms. Platforms like Facebook, X, formerly called Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn are not just for entertainment. They've also become tools for business, for education, for activism. I know lots of persons just come on TikTok in the morning, put their phone up and like, good morning Nigeria, price of dollar is 1,500. So there's a lot of opportunities that's opening up. Entrepreneurs have risen to showcase their talent, and digital creators, that's a new one now, content creator. This was not a job that in the last 20 years we didn't know. Most of the people doing content creating as a job didn't go to school to study content creation, but social media is opening up new opportunities. So that's what I want to look at. Is it just about those that are elite, those that have access? What's the divide like? Absolutely. But here's the big question. Is social media truly an equalizer, or is it just about reinforcing the existing inequalities that we have in the community? Memuna.
Great question, Obong. Now, while social media has democratized access to information and global conversations, there are still barriers: limited internet access in rural areas, high cost of data and smart devices, digital illiteracy, and lack of skills, algorithm bias that favors established influencers and voices.
And let's not forget the misuse of social media is also a problem. Fake news. Fake news.
Yes.
Lots of people don't know. They just put out information that are not true. Misinformation is there. We're talking about cyberbullying. It's a thing. I know people, I've read, about people who've committed suicide, people who've done a lot of things because of cyberbullying.
Exactly.
Somebody brings out your private photo, private video. Maybe you did that video in the spur of the moment. I don't know, something. I just posted.
Someone just picks it up and did it. Yes, and you're very right. Being that the social media has its advantage side, of course, there's also the disadvantage side, which you just stated, that a lot of people have committed suicide. We have fake news. We have people that their images have been, dented on the social media. We have people that they have, virtually locked out of their social media pages just to go and have a safe space and let their mind calm down and have a sane brain and then go back. But it is what it is. But sometimes I feel that depending on the things you put out there on social media, if you want social media to be at your advantage, perfect. If you want social media to be at your disadvantage, perfect. And that is where the content creation comes in. You made a statement. You said in today's world, content creation has been on the rise. A lot of people did not even go to school before they became content creators, I beg your pardon, on social media. But then I feel that, you know, being a content creator, a lot of people that woke up in the morning and became content creator, they not really, you know, look at the negative side as to what type of content should be put out there, because it's a social media world. People are using social media now to ease their stress, to ease their worries, to ease their problem. So when they see some, you know, very funny post on social media that has to do with someone's life that is put out there, you know, being that they are in their own space, facing whatever they are facing, they just use that particular post to just ease it off and then say a lot of things to that person. That is leading to your statements about some people have, you know, committed suicide because of certain comments that have been made about them on social media. Well,
yeah,
like I said, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is, and it's quite troubling because people could be very disrespectful at times. I've seen it. I've gone to, I don't want to mention the senator's name, but there's this particular senator that if you go under his feeds on social media, people say a lot of things. I'm like, can you say this to this man if you see him? So social media, you know, just brings that level ground and anybody can say anything, but it's not right, and that's why we want to look at the divide. But before we go deeper, let's take a short break for some updates. We'll be right back.
When the city is getting too loud, you need a home. Home is love, peace, and tranquility. Home is Housing TV Africa. Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.
Welcome back. Now let's take a closer look at how social media is shaping innovation from business to education to governance.
To help us unpack this conversation, we are joined by Habiba Ibrahim, a digital inclusion advocate and tech policy expert. Welcome to the Good Morning Show, Mrs. Habiba Ibrahim.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're super excited to have you in the studio as a female. I'm sorry, Oba.
Doing technology.
Yes, doing technology, exactly. And yeah, it's a very good one. It's a catchy one. And good to know that you're the founder of Bibatex Enterprise.
That's correct.
You're welcome.
You know, the first question I'd like to ask is, in a country where we talk about gender inequalities a lot, and technology seems to be STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics seems to be areas exclusively made for the male folks. What gave you the interest? Let's start on the lighter note.
For me, all this began looking at the fact that I am a mother and I have two beautiful sons. So my first child is now 7. But when he was 4 years old, and that was when Bibatex Enterprise started, when he was 4 years old, you know, he was growing. I was a new mother at the time, and I had concerns. I wanted to be the best mom to him. He was a very active, very, very intelligent boy who he challenged me. He wanted to lay his hands on things. It was so challenging. His brain was very, very active. So I had to step up to the task. You know, I had to step up my game as a mother. I had to give him that platform to be the best he can be and make very good advantage of the brain he has been gifted with. So that made me, you know, I started looking for resources that would help him, that would help him grow, that would help his brain even be more challenged, be better, and that is what has led to Bibatex over time. At that time, when I started looking for resources, I knew what I wanted. I did not just want to buy him toys like most parents would do. I did not just want to buy him, you know, things that would keep him active. I was looking for more. I was looking for resources that would keep him active, keep him engaged, but would also help bring out the genius in him. That would help him think, that would help him be creative, you know, and bring out all the skills that he will need when he grows up. So I was looking for resources that solves that problem. So as a mother, so by the time I started looking for those resources, I found out that they were very difficult to reach. I could not get access to them easily, so I had to, you know, it took a while for me to get what I actually wanted, and it just opened the floor for me. I just thought this is a gap that we have in our society. There are parents who would want to, you know, who want the best for their children, who want them to be able to think. There are parents who does not want their children just to keep playing around, but they want them to, you know, be useful for themselves, be useful for their society, have skills that are futuristic. So we took it up from there, and we have Bibatex Enterprise.
Wow, I am super excited. I love the story behind Bibatex Enterprise. Still on a lighter note, how were you able to juggle the two together? Because I'm trying to imagine in my head, it's really, you know, I can imagine it was tedious. How were you able to juggle being a mother, you know, and then, you know, being that, because it's like you being 4 in 1. You know, you want to be a mother, you want to be a teacher, you want to be the best that your child can look up to and say, oh yes, my mom taught me that. You know, it's like a whole package. How were you able to juggle that?
To be honest with you, it was not. It's not been an easy journey. Even up till this moment, it's been something I still struggle with, and I know I'm not alone in this. I know every mother. Shout out to every mother out there. Shout out to
my mom too.
every female out there. It's not an easy thing to raise the next generation.
I knew you were going to include that.
Shout out to everybody out there raising people.
And shout out to our fathers. And I'm still going to come to that in answering your question. The truth is that I would not have been able to do this perfectly if I do not have any support system. And my support system is a very solid one. If not, I would not be here today. You know? So I have my husband who agrees to my dreams. You know, he supports me, he gives me ideas, he is there. Even if he's not here, he knows what I'm doing. He supports me, he gives me that wings to fly. So I am very, very appreciative of that. I have a very solid support system. So when I'm not there for my kids, I have people who are, you know, right there at the background, taking care of them and ensuring that our views align, and that what we want our kids to achieve is being done, regardless of if I'm there or if I'm not there. So that's just
amazing. That's a good one. Over to you, Bob.
Yeah. So let's talk about the gaps that we have as far as connecting and getting connection in social media is involved. We know that some communities don't have access to social media. So let's talk about the inequalities. Do you think that these gaps are widening? Because we've always had inequalities between the rich and the poor, and it seems that people that are on social media are people that are maybe in urban centers and the rural centers, so much divide in those places. Let's talk about the work you've done.
Yes. Social media is quite an enabler. So if you have access to social media, there is a lot of things you can do. There are opportunities you can reach when you are on social media. But truly, there is actually a divide, and something has to be done to that. You know, for people who do not have access to social media, or people in environments where there are no connectivity, it would affect them, because all these opportunities that social media brings, they do not have access to that. And it might be quite strange for those of us who have access. You know, our access to social media is quite continuous, and when you are not on social media, you feel left out, you feel that something is wrong, you know. But for those who do not have access to that, they are missing out on what we are enjoying. So I feel that it is very, very important for us, for the government, for the private sectors as well, for every one of us to come together and try to bridge that divide, you know, as much as we can, making sure that people in rural areas, in areas where there are no connectivity, have access to those opportunities. You know, by us, it has to do with us taking these opportunities to them, you know, making them inclusive in everything, and also every policy that is being done. Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at major challenges in Africa and other developing countries, which is affordable and reliable internet access, right? What policies or investments are needed to improve digital connectivity?
Okay, we need our government to come up with policies that support connectivity, that support access to digital literacy for everyone, including those who do not have access to it. This is very important because it is very, very clear that in our world today, the world is leading. You know, the future is digital, and whoever is not digitally literate, in fact, from now, is considered an illiterate. If you have no knowledge of digital literacy.
I just got to know that today.
Yes,
of course.
Literacy is no more your ability to read and write. You should have the knowledge of how to interact digitally. You know, you should have that technology. It's foundational. So we need our government to come up with policies. I know that our government are trying their best, but there is still a lot to be done. I'm telling you, there is a whole lot to be done. We have people who do not have access, who are not digitally literate at all. We have, despite the fact that we have NGOs who are springing up, you know, to just ensure that things are being done. We still have, Nigeria is a very big country, you know, so we still have a lot of people who are at a disadvantage. I would implore the government and also stakeholders across board, both private institutions, establishments, whoever has the opportunity to do something about this. We cannot just afford to sit down and just enjoy what the advantages of connectivity alone. We need to make it happen across board.
You know, let me take you on now. Somebody told me a story last week that his NGO is involved with one NGO. They went to one community, gave them solar panels and all of that, solar lighting, gave them some digital devices, and they had to do an assessment. They went back to that community, I think a year or 6 months later, and found out that they had the people in the community had sold the solar panels, they had sold the connecting devices that was given to them. So in a place like that, what can we do? Because sometimes it seems some people necessarily don't want to come to social media. Some people have biases on, no, you people are always on social media. This is your generation, always on social media. I remember growing up, if you're on phone, they say, you're always on phone. What are you doing with phone? So how do we talk about and solve this kind of problems where people refuse to understand the essence of coming on social media?
You just told an interesting story. And the thing is that there is a process. And if we don't follow the process, if we jump the gun, then we would not achieve what we are meant to achieve. It has to start from sensitizing people. Why do they need these things? Especially for people who have not used it before, and even for those who have used it before, for people who have not seen the full advantage that being digitally literate can bring to them. They would not appreciate whatever you are doing. So if we jump the gun, we will not achieve what we are meant to achieve. If we do not sensitize them, whoever it is we are helping, be it the adults, parents, the next generation, if we do not let them see for themselves the advantage that being digitally literate brings, or the advantage that they can get when they have connectivity, they would not appreciate any intervention. So our intervention should start from sensitizing the people. When we began with Bibatex Enterprise, that was what I had to do first. We had to create several webinars. We had to let people just understand what STEM is all about. Because we just say STEM, 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 STEM. There is everybody is shouting STEM. Okay, I want my child to be STEM inclined. Yes. I want my child to be in the technology world. You know, the technology field and all. But what is it all about? What advantages does it bring? What can your child benefit from it? What are the skills? The skill set your child needs to have for him or her to be able to get the full advantage from all this. So these I think are the first step. We need to sensitize people about the advantages. Let them see for themselves. Let them see examples. Let them try it out and see what advantage it can bring. Then after they seen for themselves, they can now say, oh, then you can now bring in other interventions, support them, give them resources for them to now advance. Even before then, they need to map out whatever it is they want to do. What are the goals? What do I want to achieve with this? Where am I going with this? What are the steps I'm going to take towards this? Before we now give them resources for them to now to build upon. But if we don't do that, if we are just taking things to them without sensitizing them or helping them see what it actually will do for them, then we are still back to where we began.
Oh, good. That's a good. So my next question comes from the angle of you being a mother, you having intelligent boys who because I can literally say that they actually paved the way for you to be in this particular field based on the story you gave. I'm going to look at parenting and social media right now. I want us to look at that. A lot of parents of this generation will use social media as a distraction for their children, not to bother them.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially some mothers, maybe they have leftover work from the office brought back to the house, and then they just need it, and the child is there, mommy, you're like, go and pick your tab, go and pick your phone, without even paying attention to what that child is actually doing on social media, which is of course the negative aspect. Now, as a mother and your company, have you been able to create awareness for mothers to know that, hey, it's not enough for you to use devices and social media to let your child be distracted or want to have your me time? Are there other ways, parents can be able to, use this tool? Because it's a tool and it's a very positive one, if you know how to use it rightly. Yes. So have you been able to create awareness for mothers to know that, hey, even in as much as you want your child to be social media implied or digitalized, whatever grammar you tech people call it, there is still this part you should not neglect. That is the part of the child using that device or the social media negatively to cause issues or whatever. Have you been able to do such awareness, create such awareness?
One of the advantages that being in STEM creates is that it gives children, preteens, teenagers, the opportunity to do something else apart from just being on social media, just being there, wasting their lives away. So it helps them create, solve problems. They are able to see what problems do we have around me, what problems do I have as an individual around me. Most of our programs, the programs we come up with, the resources we bring for people to get, they are centered around, okay, you as an individual, this is a challenge in front of you. I want you to solve this challenge. Look around you, check out for problems, and try to create solutions towards that problem. So that is on one hand. On the other hand, our parents need to also realize that as for us to be the best parent, and we all struggle with this, that is just the truth. For us to be the best parent, we cannot just push our children to their tabs without being on their necks, knowing what they are actually doing, controlling what they are watching, because the internet is such an open space and so not controlled. If you are not careful, your children can get lost. So as parents, we all need to be at alert, in as much as we want our children to get the benefits from being digitally literate. We also want to be aware of what they are doing. So for us to achieve this, it boils down to parents also having that knowledge. There are ways we can control a child's tab for instance. There are ways we can control a child's tab. So parents who wants to give their children tablets to play with should know that you can control it. The knowledge of how to control what your child is watching. You can, my son's tab, for instance, now, I can control it from here. I can check what he is watching from my phone. I can, yes, if he wants to download any app, I need to, you know, approve. I need to authorize him to download that tab. I can control the amount of time. If I want him to spend just 1 hour or just 30 minutes, I can do that on my phone. How many parents have that knowledge, you know? So these are the issues. These are the things that we as parents need to know. You know, as much as we want our children to be in vogue, we also need to put in the necessary measures to make sure that they are not lost. As a mother myself, I am not perfect. That is just the truth. There are still times where I push the tab to my son and say, okay, you know what? Do this for 30 minutes and let me just do some work. But it does not mean that is the best thing, you know. And another thing that I do, and I would urge other parents to do, is that I invested a lot. Myself and my husband, we invested a lot in resources. I mean programmable blocks, STEM kits. We invested a lot in that, just so that they can have things to do at home. And they are, you know, children of nowadays, the word on their mouth is, oh mom, I'm bored. Oh, mom, you know. So for you to take away that boredom, you know, create avenues for them to do things with their hands. To be it, I love STEM blocks a lot, and there are lots of them. So I invested in it a lot. That's one of the things I did. I have, you know, they can do so many things. There are resources we call open resources. They do not have to be streamlined towards one thing. Once they've created something, they can scatter it and do something else, you know. They can be as creative as possible. So that's one of the things I implore parents to also look into.
You know, we are talking about bridging the divide, and with the things you are saying and with the things you've done, it still goes back to the divide, because if you don't have resources, you can't do these things.
Exactly. So, that's true.
So it seems like those who are in the urban centers have more opportunities than those who are in the rural centers. I'd like to be asking the next question now. Let's talk about business opportunities. So many persons now don't need to rent shops. You could just, at the comfort of your home, do businesses. How has this, you know, assisted Nigeria? How has this assisted mothers, entrepreneurs, and young people?
Oh,
you may want to also answer about those that don't have resources
as well. Okay. So for those that do not have resources, we can always look around. See, as adults, we are always our minds. Some of us, well, not everybody, our minds are closed to opportunities around us. We feel that, okay, these are tires, or this is sand, and my child should not play with this sand because it will make him dirty. And I'm just giving an example, you know. So my point is that there are resources around us that our children want to actually use and play with, or just lay their hands upon. But because of the fact that we are parents and we want everywhere to be neat and sparkling, and we want everything organized just the way I've done it, we close opportunities for our child. We choke them, sort of. We don't allow them to explore what is around their surroundings. And it is when they are able to do this that they can come up with innovations. Look at people. We have people in rural areas where they just, you know, they pick up random things, cartons, you know, to create, and they create solutions that are very, 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 very awesome. Solutions that can be developed into products. My point is that we as parents should not close our minds to the possibilities of our children. Of course, I agree that those of us in the urban area, we enjoy certain opportunities, but that it does not have to be like that. You know, we can make use of things around us. We can help our children explore. We can even get down to their level and, you know, let them open up their minds and have them interact with their environment to come up with resources.
Yeah, the business.
Yeah, looking at it from the business angle, I started my business online, purely online. I mean, that is where the business is. That is the office. That is the office, and I'm telling you, it's been so amazing. So it just to tell us the opportunities. I'm sure a lot of us are there. We are right there. We are killing it online. So the fact that we are able to have access to digital resources is something that is very, very amazing for us as females. You know, it makes things easier for us. We are able to get the money out of it, but it all boils down to education as well. So if you don't train, or if people do not have the opportunity to train, we will just be there scrolling away, while other people who have that knowledge are actually making very good use of the opportunities social media can bring. So we need to train ourselves. We need to invest in ourselves. We need to have, change our mindset that I can actually earn from this. This can actually be better for me. There are opportunities for me right here. There are trainings, free trainings online that we can enroll ourselves into. Now you don't even need your certificate to get jobs. We have people who are virtual directors, virtual assistants. We have people who learn everything they know online. So there are several opportunities, both as a business owner, both as an entrepreneur, or for people who want to work with other people who are entrepreneurs.
So beyond business, how can social media be leveraged to transform education, governance, and public service in underdeveloped countries? Okay, beyond underdeveloped regions, and
beyond business,
yes.
Beyond business, now there are learning opportunities online. So I was private to have access to. I cannot recall this course, this website where you can learn almost anything. Apart from the popular ones, Udemy, Coursera. There are several others. There are courses. We now have ALX, and there are several other courses that you can do. We have people who are coming up with courses that you can tap into and learn from, whatever it is that you want to learn now. You don't have to wait for anybody to put you through. If you have your phone, just dig in, and start learning right there. So that is one opportunity. Apart from looking at it from the business angle, we have opportunity to train ourselves to become. We are in a world where we have to unlearn, learn, and relearn. So there are some things from our past that we have to shed. We have to unlearn them and then open our minds up to possibilities and opportunities that are abound for us. Then we have to learn. If we do not put in the work, then we will not get anywhere. One of the problems we have now is that we have a lot of people who do not have the skills that they need. We have people who do not have jobs, but they do not have jobs because they don't have the skills. When we put in the time, we put in the effort to get ourselves skilled, and that we can do on social media, we will go places.
Mimuna, before we go on a short break, I'll be asking the last question now. You talked about people getting on social media, and it still boils down to resources. Because if I don't have data, and data is now very expensive.
Exactly. You remember I was talking about how fast the MTN data just goes off. Like, I was even joking with someone. Someone reached out to me and said, what is your experience with the whole data cost thing? I'm like, sometimes I feel I have an invisible being going around with me hotspotting my internet, and the person was like, at this point I think so, because it's crazy. And she just stated it. Most of the things she made mention of still boils down to resources.
Because like you mentioned, if you don't have data to go on Coursera, you mentioned Coursera, Udemy, ALX, and all of these courses that are available, what do you do if you don't have power? That's another challenge. Some of us, some people, not us, right? Some people are staying in locations that they've not had power in the last 6 months, 1 year.
Yeah.
How do they get connected? And most rural communities don't have power.
Yes.
There are communities that have never seen a transformer in their life. So what happens to those who are born in this disadvantaged places. But I'd like to be asking the question now. Let's talk about misinformation. Lots of misinformation goes on. How do we tackle misinformation?
Yeah, in tackling misinformation, that's also that we are still going back to what we have mentioned before. All hands need to be on deck. We need to help train our next generation to be able to understand what they are going into. For us, okay, we know that at least we've gotten to a stage and we can deal with some things, though we still need that knowledge. But our next generation need to learn what it is, the advantage of being digitally literate, the disadvantages, the advantage of artificial intelligence, what it can do for them, and how it can mar them if they are not able to handle it properly. So it's like a tool. It's a double-edged sword, right? There are the positive angle to it. We also have the negative angle to it, and we need everyone to be as knowledgeable as possible. To tackle this problem of misinformation, we need to be able to identify, okay, this is how I know that this information is not correct. This is what I need to do to sieve information. You know, you don't just take in everything you see on social media, hook, line, and sinker, without doing your own research, or without having to fact check to verify that what you're actually looking at is correct. You know, was it not last week I saw one of the social media influencers who put up a notice to say that this particular video that you are watching, I was not the one who made this video. It was, I don't know who the people are. You know, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. If we are not careful, we would have so many situations like that. People would make use of all this to their own advantage, to gain whatever it is they want to gain, to the disadvantage of other people. So we need everybody to equip themselves with knowledge. We are in an information era where information is key. Information is, you know, you need to have the right information, of course. So we need to equip ourselves with the right information. We need to be able to decipher between what is wrong and what is right, and we need to also be able to sieve whatever it is that comes to us. We don't just take everything in.
Thank you. This is still the morning. Good Morning Africa on Housing TV. We'll be back after this short break.
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the African International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Good Morning Africa show on Housing TV Africa. Still in the studio having a conversation with our guest Habiba Ibrahim, the founder of Bibatex Enterprises. So I'm going to, my next question is beyond internet access, right? Another challenge is digital skills. A lot of young people just carry their phones, take pictures, selfies. I'm going to use my gender as an example. You know, as long as we have a good phone, our cameras are good to go. Oh, we're good to go. We just want to take beautiful pictures and you know, just be fly. So many young people don't even know how to, you know, acquire digital skill and make use of that phone to earn a living for themselves. So what initiatives can help build digital literacy?
Yeah, initiatives that teaches people skills. We are in an era where it is not about what you know alone, it is about what you can do. What are the things you can do? you know, for you to be you need to be very good in whatever area you have chosen for yourself. And as God will have it, we are moving into a phase where every sphere of life is coming together as one. For instance, I mean, people, unlike before, when we were in school, if you are an art student, you focus only on art subjects. If you are a science student, you focus only on science subjects. If you are a commercial student, that was then. Now everything is merging into one. So instead of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths, it is now STEAM, science, technology, arts, and maths. Some say stream, science, technology, robotics, arts, and maths. You know, everything is coming together. We have lawyers who are also into tech, you know, and they focus on the technical aspect of law. We have doctors. In fact, I have some people on my team who are doctors, but they are into tech. So, you know, we are moving into a very, very interesting world where everything merges together, and we just need to upskill, you know, for us to still be right there making impact, for us to be there killing it. Everybody needs to upskill. We need to open our minds to the possibilities that exist. So I would say that we need to skill up. We need to help our next generation get the necessary skills. It is not just you as a parent wanting your child to study medicine just for the fun of it. The child needs to have the necessary skills, tech skills, digital skills, and also the medical skill that you want him or her to achieve. So
okay, so briefly talk to us about Codavo 6.0, which is Shape the Future with Code. I'm a bit confused there. What is it all about?
Codavo Championship, it's an international championship. We have over 70 countries participating in this championship. So it's not just a Nigerian thing. It's a truly global championship. We have the best talents from several countries coming together to showcase solutions that they have put up. It's a competition anyway. So it's a coding, artificial intelligence, and robotics championship for the next generation. Basically, from age 7 to age 18. So
undisqualified.
Undisqualified. Of course, there are opportunities for you, but Codavo is for preteens and teenagers. Also, if we have institutions, schools who want to partake, then they can also register their interest, and then they would be enrolled in this championship. So this is a championship that we have 2 tracks. So the first track focuses on innovation and entrepreneurship. Innovation and entrepreneurship in such a way that you come up with solutions to problems, and then you also show us the entrepreneurship aspect of it. How scalable is this product? How can we develop this project that you've done further, so such that it is able to be used in the society? So you're not just creating a solution just for competition's sake. You are creating a solution that can be advanced into something more tangible. Then we have the second track, and that is purely robotics. Stempedia, the organizers, they have a product, a robot that they created. So for those who would be engaging in track 2, they have to use that robot to solve 8 robotics challenges. And this year the focus was on sustainability. So it's really a very brilliant initiative, and that is why we, Bibatex Enterprise, tapped into it, and we decided to bring Nigerians on board. And we hope that when we go to Qatar this year, we are going to come out, we are going to come out top.
That's a good one. I'm so sorry, Bog. I just have a very, the last question before we wrap it up. So, ever since you started this, have you had, collaborations with the government, public schools? I'm going back to Ubong. Looking at the rural communities is very important. Because the truth of the matter is that we're talking about kids, we're talking about their future. And the children in the rural communities are also, in short, I don't want to use the word maybe one day we can get a president. No, there is a possibility that in maybe 10, 20, how many years to come, you know, that rural child, or rather that child in the rural community can be the local government chairman, can be the governor, can be the president, or what have you. So what have you done? Have you had any collaboration with the government to, you know, to push this further, to get into the rural communities, public schools, for people that cannot afford those things?
Well, in terms of collaboration, we have, for this initiative is not just done by me. We have collaborated with government institutions. Yesterday we had the event at the National Space Research and Development Agency. You know, the regionals was held at Cosmopolitan University. In Lagos it was held at Yaba College of Technology. So we have leveraged so much upon collaborations with the government to make sure that we push this further. But looking at Bibatex, we are still young. This championship is just 2 years old. This is the second time we'll be having it. So of course there is still a lot to be done, and we know that we are meant to take this away, not just in town. We need to include people from the rural areas as well, and we would be ensuring that in other subsequent editions we are going to be bringing them in. So this is a challenge for us. We are going to be looking very, very deeply into that, just to make sure, because I'm sure we have talents there. So we are going to be creating opportunities for them to come on board, you know, and showcase them and give them the platform. But aside that as well, as Bibatex as a solutions provider, we have initiatives that we have done in the past where we focused on communities. We have collaborated with other private institutions to take these trainings to the community, to estates, to people's estates, to people's surroundings, just to ensure that they also have the opportunity to tap into learning and training for their children. We hope to come up with so much more. We have a lot to uncover.
Wonderful conversation that we've had. Amazing conversation. As a way of rounding up this conversation now, I'd like to just ask, we've seen solutions, local solutions from Africa. OP today, it's one of the biggest service provider. You were talking to someone, someone say, if you want to advise me, put your advice in my OP. You know, those are local solutions that have risen from people we know, people we could point and say, Nigerians have actually done amazing things. So what are we looking at in the future? What are you seeing in the next 5-15 years as far as local solutions are concerned?
One of the things we are looking at is developing these solutions that our children have developed, you know, have come up with, developing them and making them into actual products. That's one of the things we are looking into. We also hope that in the nearest future we would have a very, very good number of teens and pre-teens who are skilled. It's such an important thing that we cannot just overlook. So we are not just looking at them having access to the technical knowledge alone. We want to help them to get the skills that they need when it comes to creativity, when it comes to solving problems, when it comes to being able to collaborate with other people, when it comes to critical thinking. We are very, very focused on all these skills, and all our interventions and solutions would be directed in that area.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Today's conversation has shown that while social media is driving innovation, there are still major challenges in ensuring equal digital access for all.
To bridge this divide, we need better infrastructure, we need affordable internet, digital education, inclusive tech policies. But the bigger question remains, can social media alone solve the digital divide, or does more need to be done?
Thank you so much, Habiba Ibrahim, founder of Bibatex Enterprise, for your insight. It was such a good conversation.
I enjoyed it.
Well done. Yes, and well done. You're really doing a great job. We wish you the very best.
We appreciate the work we are doing,
Yes,
and we love the work we are doing, and want to see the work go to the rural communities.
And
I'm
we are
so
going
passionate
to do so
about
much more.
That's beautiful. Well done. That's it for today's edition of the Good Morning Africa show on Housing TV Africa. I hope you all have learned one or two things. Keep staying informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you again soon. I am Maimuna Bagudu.
And my name is Ubong Usoro. Do have a lovely day.